Good evening, everyone. I wish a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year to all my dear customers and all my dear editors and my business partners. This is my Christmas video message in which I summarize my work and statements for the year, preview my projects for next year, and give my opinion on some very important social issues in order to perspective of my work. I'm going to celebrate with this T.O.E champagne at the end of my Christmas video message. This is my favorite champagne from Hungary. This famous Hungarian T.O.E champagne is a beautiful fusion with the famous Hungarian T.O.E winery. It's a very important information for to all my dear Italian customers. Special, beautiful and very good festive drink. My husband is drinking open champagne while I'm talking. As in previous years, this year I've written the text of my lecture that I present. I'd like to say a special thank you to all my dear customers on every continent on the world in many countries. There are 3 online sales options available to my customers for my photos and videos. My stock photo and video collections are available in the iStock by Getty Images, iStock photo and Getty Images portfolios, and in the Shutterstock collections. And in Tuscany, Italy, you can also reach the pictures of my private photography collection for purchase of the T.O.E Art Market website. Many thanks to the editors of my stock portfolios for our cooperation this year. I'd like to say a very special thank you to all my dear customers for downloading and purchasing all my stock photos and stock videos there. My stock sale went very well this year. It was the first wonderful year after the pandemic years. My goal is to further develop this year's good sales and statements next year. Next year I work on the laptop. I edit more stock photos and videos so my dear customers have a richer selection. It is difficult for me to prioritize one topic among these year's successful topics. I can tell you that every new file I've introduced this year has been successful, downloaded and purchased. A special joyful year-end download statement, the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics flag, was a great success with downloads and on several continents. And besides, to summarize, I'd like to say 3 things. Firstly, there is an increasing interest in my photos and videos taken in Hungary and Slovakia, not only in these countries, but also from the entire Central Eastern European region and Eastern continent. Secondly, I like to especially thank my dear German customers for the interest in my iStock, my stock photos and videos taken from Germany in the state of Hesse and Baden-Württemberg, as well as a special thank you for the really dynamic interest in my photos and videos taken in Vienna, the capital of Austria. Thirdly, I like to highlight my customers from Arabia. In the first 4 years of my stock portfolio collections, I have customers from all countries of Arabia, that is from all countries of North Africa and the Middle East. Now I say from all countries who download and buy my stock photos and stock videos. Thank you so much for loving my work. It means a lot to me. It really motivates me. And I get a lot of inspiration from Arabia, a lot of love. This means a lot to me because in Germany, in the state of Baden-Württemberg, my German state, There are a large number of communities from the countries of Arabia, and after that, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish good luck to all the women who are professional photographers in Saudi Arabia. We are origin. My all stock photo and stock video topics will continue next year, especially architecture, finance, and social issues. Especially new this fall in my iStock by Getty Images portfolio are stock photos and stock videos from my sustainability concept series. This is my new theme and only presents Creative Files. The topic is a real-life report series of sustainability concept in European countries. I'm mainly reporting on the topic from the 2020s in the countries of Central and Eastern Europe and to a small extent from Western Europe, and there are some references to the 2010s. I continue this series until 2030. Every year I summarize these files on my official website and write a short text description for my customers. My official website directs you to the iStock Photo Direct Sales webpage with just one click. And in addition, of course, I also produce editorial use-only photos marked with the keyword sustainability. Starting next year, I'll be active again as a writer and literary historian, but this will not change my stock photography and stock video activities and schedule. What does this mean? I like to write 10, 20, 30 online publications per year, with which I mainly support writers and visual artists of Jewish origin living in the countries of Central Europe, as they receive almost nothing or only very little intellectual support from authors of Jewish origin with online professional publications, news and essays. I'm a humanities literary historian at Ilte University in Hungary, and this means that I only deal with classical authors and artists. With this activity, my goal is to bring Western and Central European literary and artistic interpretations closer to each other, and thus reduce the degree of value distortions. At the beginning of my career, they dealt with this topic, of course, especially with the authors of the Holocaust, Shoah, but not only with them, but with all classical Jewish writers and artists from Central Europe. Although I'm a literary historian, a professional reader and writer of scientific topics, professional learning of visual culture is a childhood dream for me. I've been developing my photography technique for 15 years. This is very hard work. I definitely not stop taking photos. I want to stay active all my life, working intensively as a photographer and videographer. I not create a photo and video portfolio under a pseudonym, no way. I only work under this one name as a photographer and videographer, as every year all my work will continue next year. This year is a very happy year for me, as I had as many destinations as I did in the first half of the 2010s, especially before the pandemic years. My travel goals, as I told you in my Christmas video message last year, have not changed. Only a few travel dates will be a little later due to financial reasons. Most of my destinations for this year have been realized. Only a few destinations in Hungary have been included in my plans for next year. Global political events have a long-term negative impact on my finances, so I have to carefully plan my budget for next year. This means that I travel less next year, and Western European trips will mean a higher cost for me, at least I cannot take next year. Next year, the development of my financial affairs will be a special test for me in this current global political situation. I can't yet list my destinations for next year in this Christmas video message because I have more destinations available for one date and time, and I won't know my final routes for next year until spring. So everything will be a surprise in next Christmas video message, next year Christmas video message, and all new content in my stock collections will be a big surprise for you throughout the year. This year, based on my 5 country destinations this year, I summarize my performance, my opinion, and my projects for next year. I made this I made this decision because I'm interested in Central European countries and my stock portfolio has been growing year by year. My trips this year were very successful, and I have more and more customers from these countries, so these topics are important to them as well. These countries follow in this order in my Christmas video message: Austria, Czech Republic, Hungary, Romania, and Slovakia. This year, my report from Romania will include climate action for 1 minute or 2. I start my report with the first country, which is Austria. I have a great time in Vienna, the capital of Austria, every time. Maybe it shows in my work. Perhaps that is why my dear German customers are happy to download my stock photos and videos taken in Vienna in large numbers. This year, among my Vienna stock photos and videos, the ones taken in the historic city center, Donau City, and Seestadt were the most downloaded, not only from Germany but from all over the world. I got the keyword Strabag in my iStock by Getty Images portfolio, and after that there was a huge interest in my Strabag photos, and this inspired me to create a large analytical photo series of the Strabag company complex in Vienna. I made this available next year. Next year I continue the same with the OMV company, and other Austrian companies will follow after that. The OMV logo was updated this summer, so I have photos with the old logo and photos with the new logo. For Germany and everyone, next year I have a large number of environmental stock photos and videos from Vienna, as well as creative photos and editorial use-only photos. I made that in October this year. Next year, most of my work will still be in Vienna, but I also travel to take photos and videos somewhere else in Austria. In my end summary, the next country is the Czech Republic. Czech Republic. I only traveled to Prague for a short time, but I'm already very happy about it. My work has only just begun. I continue. For the first time, I photographed and videotaped 4 financial districts for my stock portfolios, which are smart cities in the 21st century style. The smart cities are Brumlovka, Pankratsplen, Masaryk Station, Prague Masaryk railway station, and Florentinum. Two groups of architecture complexes, two in the new town, Nové Mesto, and the other two in the Fall district. This also include an analytical exploration of Czech finance. I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that the Czech people use the term smart city differently in the Czech language. In their own language, they do not know the global meaning of the term smart city. Only Czech architects know the meaning of the smart city based on international literature, but it is not present in the everyday language of Czech people. In my stock portfolios, of course, I present the English term smart city in its international interpretation in Prague, as I've done so far for all Central Eastern European cities. The online publication about the Czech economy is the mid-2020s is controversial. My opinion is that the Czech economy is developing step by step. International commercial banks available for the Czech people provide stability. The Prague Stock Exchange is trading successfully, researching optimal solutions to the labor shortage. Experts will organize it is the framework of a project when it becomes urgently important. I am an economist, so from this point of view, I'd like to support the managers of the Czech corporate culture with some of my copyright ideas. There is little online literature on labor immigration from Eastern Europe to Central Europe and West. This is what I talk about. I invented this term because I couldn't find the right term in the literature. I hope every manager will understand it. Movement in-house for employees. This is not the same as the new higher quality job position and bonus reverse. This is also included, but this is about something else. Employee relocation is an equally good method for this. It brings similar effects, but this is only a rare occasion. What I'm talking about is the movement in-house, a solution for the development of a quality workforce in everyday life. You might think that this is only the job of human resources managers. I think this is the job of every manager, and its role is also important in logistics, especially because of the popularity of remote working, and its effect can be interesting in e-logistics as well. Movement in-house for employees is a good way for you to evaluate how to handle in-house problems. Not everyone thinks of connecting this to the development of the labor force immigrating from Eastern Europe and the creation of optimal employee jobs. The Western literature does not even measure the phenomenon that the labor force migrates from Eastern European countries, not only to Western Europe but also the Central European countries, and within the Central and Eastern European region there is a continuous labor migration between countries. The movement in-house for employees can be regional, partial or company-wide. It can be ad hoc and continuous. It can have different periodicities, but it must be easily recognizable to the workforce, and it can be a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly or annual cycle. It is a very important component for controlling to work precisely and strictly, because it merely shows solutions to financial problems for managers. That is why in most cases, human resources management is probably only given an executive role. The idea of this theory was given to me by the method of building the ancient Egyptian pyramids. I consider this a good method because it is typical for people from Central and Eastern Europe that they do not know the concept of flexibility well. They don't learn this, and not many people get to know it in their entire lives. There are employees who dream of having their desk in the same place in the office for 40-50 years, sitting in the same chair all the time, and they never want to move out of this situation because this is what they know as success and reliability. And this is more important to them that the amount of the monthly salary, it develops regardless of age. And when do we say the concept of corruption at this point? Although I don't understand this concept. But in the meantime, there are people who learn their job very quickly, find it monotonous, do not get a new job position even though they could easily learn to work of all their colleagues, but they are bored, so they immigrate to Western Europe for the higher wages. If we understand these connections and logical effects in such a simple and quick way, it turns out that it is not difficult to develop the Central European labor market well. For managers, some software is available for movement in-house for employee. That is why I recommend this to Czech managers, because you are a professional in the application of digital technology. If you have never heard of the movement in-house for employees method, ask for advice from one of the big 4 accounting firms in some Central and Eastern European countries such as Hungary and Romania. Research groups work at universities, and the big 4 country accounting firms contribute to this. I also had a university essay, the reviewer of which one of the consultants of KPMG Hungary. To give an example, the big 4 accounting firms in the Central and Eastern European region have also published books on financial advisory topics, including KPMG Hungary, and these books also publish essays in English. My stock photos of the big 4 accounting firms in the Central Eastern European region are available in my portfolios on iStock by Getty Images and the Shutterstock. Companies in the Czech Republic can have very good corporate culture, and in countries further east, essay literature on management theory is available. In the future, it is necessary to bring these 2 components closer to by the economic authors of the region. I really hope that I can support the managers of Czech companies with this information. The next time I'm in the Czech Republic, I'll be traveling to the city of Brno. I hope to get to know the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the Czech Republic later. In no way do I want to distance myself from Czech culture. Next time I continue this work in Prague as well. In the meantime, I apply for more new keywords in English related to Prague, capital city, in my iStock by Getty Images portfolio. Hungary follows. Hungary. This is a great surprise and pleasure for me that I have Hungarian customers. I have more and more Hungarian customers. I have about as many Hungarian customers as Slovak ones. Thank you. In my stock portfolios, I've shown a rich selection of Hungary from the beginning, but I do this mainly because there is very little to know about this country, even though Hungary has more than 3,000 cities and villages. It is not difficult for me to travel in Hungary. I speak Hungarian and I completed my schooling in Hungary, on which I studied 4 different subjects and 4 universities. During my university years, I got to know most of the country during weekend trips. Based on this, it is not difficult for me to travel in this country, even though I grew up in an absolute German Swabian family from Germany, and my lifestyle is absolutely German in Hungary as well, despite the fact that I was born in Hungary. I know nothing about Hungarian politics, and I don't care. I don't even know the politician's name. However, I'm a Hungarian literary historian. As an economist, I am interested in macroeconomics and I only examine Hungary's position and roles in the Central Eastern European region. Based on this, I create stock files from Hungary. Nevertheless, since I have more and more Hungarian customers, I know tell you what I see in Hungary and what I think. Special thanks to my Hungarians, who are also my cooperating partners. I return to them to take photos and videos. There is a lot to do in Hungary, as this country is little known around the world. The task of every Hungarian citizen is to express why Hungary should be interpreted positively, and they must be able to present this to all peoples of the world, anywhere and at any time. I support Hungary and my customers from all over the world by requiring new keywords in English for Hungarian topics in my iStock by Getty images portfolio. The peoples of the world have difficulty understanding the logic of the Hungarian language. Hungarians interpret almost everything differently than other European countries, for example, when reading an English text. The Hungarian language belongs to the Uralic languages. The same language family is not present in neighboring countries. As a result of this, although the Hungarian language has been affected by many positive influences from the languages of the neighboring countries from the beginning, this still means that the Hungarian language is developing in a different way than the other languages of Europe. The Hungarian language is constantly developing. The literary Hungarian language is also developing from century to century, parallel to the other languages in Europe, but on a different path, with a different linguistic logic, and there's also a different philosophy or language. The Hungarian's logic about the interpretation of the world, our planet, is very surprising or sometimes shocking. This means that international business requires a lot of patience and cooperation. That is why it is very important that Hungarians teach English for Hungarians professionally. The culture and logic of the British and American people must be well known in order to interpret English texts. I express myself in Hungarian. You have to learn the other country. You have to learn the other country. This language situation in Europe makes it difficult for Hungarians to solve a serious problem, which is called in Hungarian csőlátás or beszűkülés, which I translate into English as they have only Central Narrow vision. I give you an example. When the first Prama store opened in Hungary, in Budapest, capital, in the Arena Mall shopping center, customers became hysterical and shocked. There was a huge crowd of people every day in the first semester, and customers couldn't behave normally. You have to be able to behave normally in a luxury shopping mall. Appropriate behavior and dress is mandatory. You can't be obscene in public, and you can't be aggressive, for example, pushing. It is also very important as for every Hungarian citizen to be able to intelligently present the official classical Hungarian symbols of the Hungarian people, Hungarian culture and Hungary to the world online, for example, in social media. Parallel development and cooperation with partner countries based on the national flag is especially important work for everyone in online content. Based on this, Italy and Bulgaria are Hungary's geographically closest partners in the European Union. In this work, Italy and Bulgaria have been successful and work hard online for the last 25 years, but Hungary is not yet active. Hungary must immediately change this and become active. What should be done for this? More of these photos and videos on all classic national themes should be uploaded in online to international online databases, such as global stock collections. Very exciting content, high quality and intelligent according to classic values. In the next 10 years, Hungary must catch up with Italy and Bulgaria in this regard. This logic of cooperation will not change in the next 100 years. This logic is the basis of human survival. This is also the basis of national survival. This logic and system of will certainly not change, because this is how the world in the 19th and 20th centuries and always before. You can delve into this topic at a high level in classical literature, for example by Dostoevsky and Thomas Mann. Two excellent books for this: the double Petersburg poem by Fyodor Mihalovich Dostoevsky in Hungarian, A hasonlás, and the transposed heads by Thomas Mann in Hungarian, az elcserélt fejek. It's a concept. Online content and algorithms also work on these principles, and all people understand and accept this. You need to know all this in order to be motivated, because it is a responsible behavior. It takes a long time and you have to work hard for it. Only the Hungarians have to do this together for Hungary. My way I can support Hungary in this is that I receive keywords in English for Hungarian national holidays for my iStock by Getty Images portfolio. As Fabian German's book about this topic is Hermann Hesse's novel Steppenwolf, winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature. The challenge of the Hungarian national holidays is this year is to transform the events in such a way that the unusual and scary elements do not cause fear in the children. In documents, photos and videos, children sometimes show negative attitudes on national holidays in Hungary. It's a problem because all events during the national holiday must also be aimed at children. It is not possible to organize an event on the national holiday that is scary for children. Event elements must be edited based on the classical, literary and musical definitions of academia and humanities, because children learn this at school and they are not afraid of this knowledge, but it gives a positive experience if they have learned it. If a speaker has to give a special lecture on a national holiday, it must be held the day before or the following day, and all this means that a patriotic Hungarian, the speaker, should write books because he or she has a large number of friends. He or she may become a very successful professional patriotic writer. In the last 4 years, I photographed national holidays in 3 countries: Croatia, Hungary and Slovakia. My goal is to be able to take photos and videos on the national holidays of as many Central European countries as possible in the coming years, because there is a lot of interest in this topic in my stock portfolios. As international photographer, I recommend to all Central European countries that they take down the posters promoting the military lifestyle on the street. In Prague, I saw a boy of around 8 years old with his mother at the subway station. The boy was fully dressed as a soldier and had a lot of guns and grenades applied to his uniform. He will be an adult in 10 years. Before Christmas, I saw a fashion poster advertising military style clothing at the subway entries in Budapest. These visual street effects have a suggestive effect on children every day. In 10 years, they'll be adults. This problem needs to be discovered in all Central European countries, including in Romania, and urgently requires positive measures. I can list some of my destinations this year in Hungary next year. Among them, I travel to the cities of the Great Hungarian Plan next year. In the following years, my main goal is to modernize the centralized economic vision in Hungary in my stock portfolios. How will it be? I discovered Hungary's second most important city. I decided that this city is for me, Pécs. There are 2 reasons for my decision. One is the UNESCO World Heritage Site and the international transport of the city, and other is the support of the European Union's business relations to the Balkan Peninsula. In parallel, I pay attention to the partner cities in the region. These are Zalaegerszeg, Nagykanizsa, Kaposvár, Szekszárd, Paks, Baja, Mohács, Kalocsa, Kecskemét, and Szeged. In Budapest, the capital, I present 3 smart cities that can be reached side by side next to the Rákóczi Bridge and the Petőfi Bridge. There are Millennium City Center in Pest Riverside and Mall Group Financial District of Dunapart Borough and Info Park in Buda Riverside. They are all green buildings in 21st century style and built with green technology. Next year, among Hungarian companies, I discover Mall Group, Törlei, Zvak, and Richter Gedon with a rich selection. It is my firm opinion that Hungary should join the Eurozone as soon as possible. This is the basis of the future of the Hungarian economy. The next country, Romania. I'm very happy that this spring I was able to travel to Bucharest, the capital of Romania, for the first time in my life. I consider it really professional, the way for the Eastern European region that Bucharest develops its tourism. This capital receives large numbers of tourists from Eastern European countries during the vacation seasons. The Romanian business life is good for business trips all year round. It seems to me that Romania is preparing to join the Eurozone in the European Union in parallel with the Czech Republic. All signs point to that. That is why, basing my work on a financial perspective, I'm simultaneously presenting the capital of Romania in my stock portfolios, going along with the Czech Republic. In all topics, I basically proceed in parallel in Prague and Bucharest. This means that finance and national smart city developments are the first topics. In my iStock by Getty Images portfolio, I'm applying for many new keywords in English as in the care of other Central and Eastern European countries. My goal is to ensure that there are no language problems in English and that Romania has a well-named people and national culture, because this has not yet been achieved. In my opinion, the name of the Roman population in Italy is not a negative factor in this matter. And here we are talking about English language issues, so I am not taking into account the fact that the Hungarian language has been calling the Gypsy peoples the Roma people for the Hungarians for the last 35 years. I only work in English for international stock collections. It is my firm opinion that you should be able to name the people and culture of every country in English. With this, I want to support the Romanian people, Romanian stock photographers and videographers, and the Romanian economy. In the coming years, I traveled to Sofia, the capital of Bulgaria, to take stock photos and videos, and after that I returned to Bucharest to take more photos and videos. Then I consider Bulgarian-Romanian economic relations for my Bucharest stock photos and videos. This will mean that I not only work in Bucharest according to Romania's Western relations, but I also interpret the Eastern relations. It will also be important for Romania that I travel to more and more cities in the Balkan Peninsula to take stock photos and videos. In this work, I also consider Romanian culture and economic relations. For now, I only plan to travel back to Bucharest because I still have so much work to do in the Romanian capital. The other Romanian cities follow later in my stock portfolios. Now comes my few-minute climate action. This November, I photographed and videotaped Hollókő UNESCO World Heritage Site village in Hungary. I went into a souvenir shop and was amazed that they were selling old home decor plates in the Central and Eastern European region as a symbol of rich life. I was very happy when I saw that such home decor plates from Korond were being sold in this small village. These Korond plates can be recognized out of thousands by the characteristic system of symbols and motifs. These home decor plates are made in the village of Korond in Harghita County, Eastern Transylvania, Romania. The masters of the village of Korond pass on this professional Székelyland cultural knowledge to each other from generation to generation. Here in Korond, this wonderfully intelligent system of motifs onto these home decor objects began to develop in the 17th century. What gives you the inspirations for this? The beauty and richness of the landscape of the famous Székelyland Harghita County. The landscape called the Salt region is rich in green forests, green fields and fresh waters with clean drinking water such as springs. The beauty of the village of Korund is the color of this green landscape, and this very beautiful green color can be seen on the home decor objects made in the village of Korund. This green paint material is made with a technology that does not fade or wear out after 40-50 years or even longer. This is the inspiration given the masters of the village of Korund by this amazingly beautiful landscape which has been endangered by climate change, just as the entire Central Eastern European landscape is endangered. The village of Korund is particularly at risk due to climate change because five springs and 19 streams and rivers can be reached in the territory of this village alone. This is a wonderful national treasure, but it has become endangered because more and more streams and rivers in the Central and Eastern European region are drying up permanently. In my opinion, the village of Korund in Romania, due to the richness of the surrounding landscape, will soon become UNESCO World Heritage Site, just like Hollókő in Hungary. When I was young, during my university years, I had a Renault Clio car and used it to travel to visit the destinations of Harghita County in Romania. Then I also visited Korund village. I also shopped and learned the motif system of home decor object. Then I like this way of visual expression with these beautiful vibrant colors. Nowadays, ceramic masters from Korund village have brand stores not only in Korund but also in Bucharest, the capital of Romania, and Budapest, the capital of Hungary. Such a home decor object is a very beautiful and fashionable souvenir from Central Eastern Europe. In my opinion, the price of the Korund wall home decor plates is the next 100 years will be much higher than today. In Hollókő, I also bought a home decor plate from Korund, which is as old as I am, more than 40 years old. Despite its age, it is in wonderfully beautiful condition and its colors are still brilliantly vibrant today. I show you it. This plate is beautiful. Its typical Central Eastern European motif system is clearly visible. This is a tree. This is the tree of life. All countries in Central and Eastern Europe know this motif. This is the basis of life. This tree is the beautiful green landscape, full of life. This is a bird, a black bird, like the wealth of life, the bird of life. In Central Eastern Europe, the previous centuries, the black color given by nature is a symbol of population and wealth, so the black bird is a particularly beautiful motif. The tree and the bird together give the fullness of life. The plate is around. On the other side, you can read the master ceramist Lajos Józsa made it in 1983. Good luck to the village of Korund in Romania to become UNESCO World Heritage Site in the future. Finally, I am talking about Slovakia. I'm very happy. This is our third year together, Slovakia. I had developed an extremely dynamically growing customer base in Slovakia. This is amazing for me. Thank you very much. Me too. I also really like shopping in Slovakia. What I really like about Slovakia is that Slovak people love German style, and when I walk the streets while taking photos and videos, I look around and many architecture elements remind me of Germany. For my work, I pay close attention to Bratislava's architecture development news online, and I choose topics based on this. I definitely need to travel to the capital, Bratislava, because the smart city constructions are continuous and growing. From the point of view of photography and videography, it's a very important question in terms of time, because facades disappear from our eyes in the panorama year after year. More and more skyscrapers are being added. The situation is the same in Vienna, the capital of Austria. Meanwhile, the companies that are available in these skyscrapers are my customers and their customers. The content of special interest to them in the facade of the building from as many points of view as possible. During the smart city constructions on the Danube, I try to take as many shots as possible of as many facades as possible for the companies and their customers. That is why in my stock portfolios you also see facades that are no longer visible from the viewpoints from which I took photos and videos. I hope that my stock collections will be liked by my dear Slovak customers and that they will be interpreted as an important document of Slovak social history. Among my topics in Slovakia, I developed the presentation of Slovak women. I consider this important because I see that Slovak culture possesses those 20th century customs that express respect for women. I really like this because I consider its termination to be a very wrong way in the 21st century. All of this means that you'll see my photos of heterosexual men showing polite behavior in the company of women. I also consider these contents very important for the positive development of the countries of the Balkan Peninsula. I'd like to return to Slovak cities, and I've not yet traveled all the way through northern Slovakia. One of my big goals in the future is to connect to UNESCO World Heritage Sites of Eastern Slovakia and Northern Hungary in my stock portfolios. It's important for the economy and especially tourism of these two countries. Next year, I also work a lot on my Slovak collaborations. See you again next year. Thank you very much your attention. Let's celebrate. This is a very special time. I wish you a happy new year. Cheers.